Hi, this is Dr. Krystal Tellier, and the topic I wanted to chat with just about here today is in the peptide arena. There's lots of excitement about peptides right now, and a topic that is really important that I typically will speak with everyone that initiates peptides in my practice is peptide cycling and why we need to cycle. First off, just a quick introduction to peptides. Peptides are chains of different amino acids that have a specific job within the body. They are essentially signaling molecules, and so they help tell the body to do a very specific action or feature or function within the body. And so there are certain peptides that might help with immune stimulation. There might be some that are inflammation modulating. There may be some that stimulate certain hormones in the sleep pathway or growth hormones more in the growth pathways. And we want to make sure that the body maintains that it is the primary source of what that signaling is, and peptides are used really only to help augment and further facilitate an improvement in those said functions. And so when we talk about cycling peptides, we want to make sure that we're understanding that the body, when it receives a message over and over and over again, kind of like when you put your hand in a cold jar of water, eventually the body may start to choose to reduce its response to that signal, or it may start to ignore that signal altogether. And so that's the primary reason that we cycle peptides. Now, when and how you cycle those peptides varies per peptide. So something like a sermorelin, you might be on that for about 4 to 6 months and then take a couple months off before you would consider cycling back on again. A peptide like Wolverine, we typically cycle on for about 8 weeks, and then we cycle off for about 8 to 10 weeks and then determine if the body needs it again to help facilitate any further healing or repair. Now, there's this other concept that I talk about with patients is sort of a cycle within a cycle. And so sermorelin, I'll give you as an example, we may have them on it for 4 to 6 months straight and then cycle off 100% for about 2 months. But we do little mini cycles within that cycle. And what that looks like in my practice would be about 5 days on of injections and then 2 days off. And I find that that makes peptides, especially when they are injected on a daily basis, a little bit more at ease for our day-to-day scheduling. It also accounts for the fact that life is going to happen. You may have an evening that you have a different meal planned, a later event, you may have something else going on, or you might just straight up forget to do your injection, kind of like me last night. So when we do about 5 days on, 2 days off, that allows for some of that human just reality of we might forget injections or we might just need a break. And then the other reality is injecting every single day, it gets a little fatiguing with needles. And so it gives you a nice little pause or break so that you're less likely to get fatigued. You can hear that noise in the background. My puppy decided to have a little meal while we're chatting here. So I just hope that provides some clarity on reasons and some strategy as to how you would cycle peptides. And as always, please be safe out there. Make sure that you are responsibly sourcing your peptides. I don't recommend purchasing on the black market or across overseas. I think peptides should be used only from quality US source-based pharmacies. There is going to be some compounding changes coming up soon, so there will be easier access for patients to have these peptides. But other things that are really important, and safety is of the utmost important to me, is that you have a good, sterile, clean product that has purity studies, and that also that the product contains what is on the label. When we're buying things from questionable sources overseas, there's no guarantee that that peptide is actually what that peptide is. And so number one, you might be buying very expensive water, but number two, what if you're buying something that is signaling to that body to do something that is dangerous or something that your body doesn't need, or it could be pushing a pathway that's unhealthy for you and for what your body needs are. So be safe out there, and for now, have fun and enjoy the benefits of peptides.